Welcome to 8-Minute Masterpieces, where we break down the world's greatest literature in just 8 minutes. Today we're diving into Kurt Vonnegut's mind-bending classic, Slaughterhouse-Five. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below to share your thoughts on this powerful anti-war novel. Let's dive in. Slaughterhouse-Five introduces Billy Pilgrim, an optometrist from Ilium, New York, who experiences time non-linearly. The story opens with a reflection by the narrator, Vonnegut himself, on the difficulty of writing a book about war, specifically the bombing of Dresden during World War II. Vonnegut explains how the novel has taken years to craft, acknowledging the challenge of articulating something as chaotic and tragic as war. Billy Pilgrim is not your typical war hero. In fact, he's quite the opposite. Clumsy and passive, Billy is drafted into the U.S. Army during World War II, stumbling through his military service. After surviving the Battle of the Bulge, Billy is captured by German soldiers, along with other American POWs. Eventually, he is taken to a slaughterhouse in Dresden, where he witnesses the city's devastating firebombing. Billy's journey is interrupted by his sudden time travel to various points in his life. These jumps emphasize the novel's fragmented structure, reflecting its critique of war and fate. As the novel progresses, Billy's time traveling becomes more central as he is abducted by aliens from the planet Tralfamador. These beings view time differently than humans. To them, all moments exist simultaneously. They teach Billy that humans, limited by their linear perception of time, mistakenly believe they can alter their destinies. The Tralfamadorians, on the other hand, have no concept of free will. They see every moment as inevitable. On Tralfamador, Billy is displayed in a zoo alongside a movie star named Montana Wildhack, with whom he forms a relationship. Here, Billy learns to accept both the good and bad moments of life, never dwelling too much on the horrors he has witnessed. Vonnegut frequently uses the refrain, "So it goes," each time death is mentioned, reinforcing the inevitability of death and the need to accept it. Whether discussing a tragic event like the bombing of Dresden or a minor inconvenience, the phrase reinforces the fatalism at the heart of the novel. For Billy, time travel offers both an escape and a way to confront his trauma. Every moment of his life, whether joyful or terrifying, becomes something to be accepted rather than resisted. His interactions with the Tralfamadorians help him come to terms with the randomness of existence. The firebombing of Dresden serves as the emotional core of Slaughterhouse-Five. Billy and his fellow POWs arrive in a city renowned for its beauty and cultural richness, but their time there is short-lived. On the night of February 13, 1945, Allied forces drop thousands of incendiary bombs, creating a firestorm that reduces Dresden to rubble. Billy survives by taking shelter in an underground meat locker. When he and the other prisoners emerge, Dresden is nothing but ruins. The devastation of the city mirrors the devastation of war. Random, senseless, and total. Vonnegut refrains from romanticizing the destruction, presenting it instead as an inevitable outcome of human conflict. The novel presents the Dresden bombing not as a heroic victory, but as a tragedy. Vonnegut's understated tone, marked by the repeated "so it goes" after each death, underscores the futility and brutality of war. Billy and the other POWs are forced to sift through the rubble to recover corpses, a grotesque task that further alienates Billy from the world around him. This part of the novel encourages readers to reconsider the glorification of war, often found in other World War II accounts. Rather than framing the bombing as a necessary evil or a strategic win, Vonnegut portrays it as an example of human cruelty at its worst. After the war, Billy attempts to resume a normal life, but his time-traveling experiences continue to haunt him. He becomes an optometrist, marries a woman named Valencia, and has 2 children. However, beneath the surface, Billy is deeply traumatized by what he witnessed. He is plagued by a sense of disconnection from those around him and struggles to find meaning in his post-war existence. The scenes from Billy's post-war life are as fragmented as those from the war, with frequent jumps between different moments. This disjointed structure reflects Billy's fractured psyche. His marriage to Valencia lacks passion, seeming more like a relationship of convenience. Billy goes through the motions of his life without ever truly engaging with it. Vonnegut uses Billy's post-war life to explore the long-term effects of trauma. Although the war has ended, its horrors are ever present for Billy. The time travel sequences serve as a metaphor for his inability to escape his past. His passive nature, both in combat and civilian life, underscores the novel's larger commentary on the illusion of free will. As Billy moves through life, he experiences moments of joy and sorrow, each tinged with detachment. His lack of agency mirrors the Tralfamadorians' philosophy: life is predetermined, and humans must simply accept it. The question of free will is central to Slaughterhouse-Five. Throughout the novel, Billy wrestles with whether humans have control over their destinies. The Tralfamadorians, who see all moments at once, tell Billy that humans are unique in their obsession with free will. They believe that everything is inevitable, and individuals are powerless to change the course of events. Billy gradually adopts this philosophy, no longer questioning the events of his life, whether it's his survival of the Dresden bombing or his eventual assassination by a man named Paul Lazaro. By accepting that everything is predetermined, Billy finds a certain peace, ceasing to struggle against his fate. This fatalism extends to the novel's depiction of war. Vonnegut suggests that war, like any other human tragedy, is beyond the control of individuals. Soldiers like Billy are merely pawns in a larger game, powerless to stop the destruction around them. The repeated phrase, "so it goes," reminds us that death is constant and inescapable. In the novel's final scenes, Billy accepts his death with the same detachment that has defined his life. He knows he will be assassinated by Paul Lazaro, but he does not fight it. Instead, he faces his fate calmly, resigned to his end. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and join the conversation in the comments.